Federal judge has temporarily banned Detroit police from using certain tactics against protesters. Officers can no longer use batons, tear gas, rubber bullets, shields, and chokeholds against what are called peaceful protesters for the next 2 weeks. This comes after an activist group, Detroit Will Breathe, accused the city of excessive force during demonstrations that started on May 29th in the wake of George Floyd's death.
And President Trump is reacting to all the unrest this weekend, and David Spunt is live at the White House with more. Hi, David.
Hey, Alicia. Good afternoon from the White House. President Trump has said multiple times that the problems in Portland, the unrest, could be fixed in approximately 1 hour. He says all Governor Kate Brown of Oregon has to do is call the White House. He's willing to send in the National Guard and help where he can and where the federal government can. Meanwhile, the big story at the White House this weekend is that Atlantic article that is accusing the president of allegedly saying that the American war dead are suckers and losers. And those are quotes from the Atlantic article. The president vehemently denying this. We're talking about a November 2018 trip to France. The president did visit Suresnes Cemetery. You're seeing video of him in Suresnes Cemetery, but not the Aisne-Marne Cemetery, which is about 2 hours east of Suresnes. The White House says it was strictly a weather call, and it was too risky to have the president 90-plus minutes away from Air Force One. The president yesterday addressed that Atlantic report at a press briefing here at the White House.
It just was not a possible situation. The helicopter would have been very quick. They had the helicopter all set, but the helicopter could never fly in that kind of weather. So, and that turned out, and that's all documented, by the way. We have all of the information from, and probably will release that information.
Okay, and the info the White House did release yesterday, it was an email from the White House military aide. That same time, it says, quote, "Team, we are a bad weather call for today's lift. Chief of Staff General Kelly will replace the President of the United States for today's ceremony. Please advise if any questions." Alicia, Fox News' Jennifer Griffin over at the Pentagon citing two former U.S. officials who were on the trip to France. One was in a meeting to plan the trip to the cemetery. They confirmed part of the Atlantic story, but it's important to point out not the salacious part about, quote, suckers and losers. Now, there is a part that Jennifer Griffin was able to confirm. She reported on it earlier yesterday. Also today, she was in a phoner with Neil Cavuto in the last hour. She says that when the president, and I'm reading here because I want to make sure I say this correctly, according to her reporting, when the president spoke about the Vietnam War, he said, quote, "It was a stupid war. Anyone who went was a sucker," end quote. The official, though, did not go on the record to be named. Again, this coming from Fox News' Jennifer Griffin. The White House vehemently pushing back, aggressively pushing back on any kind of this reporting. Back to you, Alicia.
And Jennifer Griffin calls her sources unimpeachable.
Unimpeachable.
Back her. Unimpeachable. David Spunt at the White House. Thank you.
Thank you.
Joe Biden's campaign is also talking about the Atlantic article, and perhaps Jennifer Griffin's reporting in the coming days. Jackie Heinrich live from Wilmington, Delaware, with the latest on that. Hi, Jackie.
Hi, Leland. Well, yesterday, the former vice president, whose son Beau won the Bronze Star after deployment to Iraq, was visibly disgusted at the allegation President Trump had disparaged American troops. Biden challenged denials from the White House, saying Americans have heard President Trump disparage heroes like John McCain before and witnessed him fail to take action supporting the military when it comes to reports that Russia placed bounties on U.S. soldiers.
Who the heck does he think he is? President Trump has demonstrated he has no sense of service, no loyalty to any cause other than himself. I'm always cautioned not to lose my temper. This may be as close as I've come.
The president challenged the sourcing of that article in The Atlantic, but the Biden campaign flatly rejected his claims, saying in part, Donald Trump has made gaslighting his hallmark. Fact checkers have caught him telling over 20,000 lies to the American public while in office alone. How does that stack up next to the word of senior Marine Corps officials, DOD officials, and 4 other people with direct knowledge of these statements. Not well. Democrats are not going to let this story fade quickly. Last night on the Trump Hotel in D.C., they projected the words, "Trump disrespected our troops, and our troops deserve better than Trump," right above the doors to the president's namesake property. The campaign says Biden's travel will be ramping up in the next several weeks. Touching on this, we can expect Biden and his running mate are hosting separate events this week. Senator Kamala Harris appearing in Wisconsin Monday, Biden heading to Michigan and Pennsylvania at some point as well. Travel will focus on battleground states with an eye to early voting windows. We can expect a combination of roundtables and remarks, but certainly no big rallies given the coronavirus restrictions. Leland?
Yeah, very different campaign style than the president and his team over the coming weeks. Jackie Heinrich, Wilmington, Delaware. Jackie, thank you. Alicia?